Last fall, I had the opportunity to take my godson to Washington, D.C. for a little godson, godmother visit. I've taken my children, I've taken my nieces. I think it's a real privilege to be able to take young people to visit Washington, D.C., especially for the first time. And of course, one of the places we went was to Arlington Cemetery. And while we have lovely national veteran cemeteries all over the country, there's something particularly beautiful and profound about being at Arlington. Its history, its location. It's very quiet. It's very lovely.
About 10 years ago, I was lucky enough to go to the Arlington Cemetery on a field trip with my oldest son as a chaperone. Didn't really know what to expect and wasn't, probably mentally prepared for what was going to happen, but it was a very moving experience.
The feeling is one of a difference in walking into a situation where all of a sudden life around you is full and everything is just moving normally. And then you walk into this place and it stops. Every grave at Arlington or even at the tomb could be you. There is an awareness that even though this is death, it is also the sanctity of what this country is all about.
One of my family members who's buried at Arlington is John Alexander Watson. He was my father's only sibling, and he died on May 4th, 1944, shot down over Germany.
It was just before Desert Storm actually started. It was a nighttime evolution, high waves and wind. So we had everything going against us. The ships were starting to wave a little close together, so they had to separate in a hurry. I go out there with a little charge designed to actually break that line. And the line is a 1-inch steel cable that is severed by a .45 caliber shell on basically an anvil. So you pop on the line and you break the line, and everybody goes the merry way.
We had set several detonators on an IED and set it on the side of the road. What happened was it didn't explode. So one of us had to go down and take the explosive cap off of the IED, off of the shell, so that it wouldn't prematurely or later go off, killing somebody as they walked down the road. We sat and we thought about who was going to do it, and I can remember thinking, rather than sitting here talking about it, my responsibility is to go down there and take that cap off of that shell. And I did. I walked down, frightened, wondering whether the thing was going to blow up before when I got there. It didn't. Took the cap off and brought it back. Reset the cap, put it back on the shell, and went back and then detonated it. It's a kind of precursor, I guess, if you will, about how short and how cheap life is.
I don't worry about the next generation of Americans. I think they're delightful and smart and proud. I would like their visits to stir in them a thanksgiving for those who have served and gave that last full measure of devotion.
You know, veterans who share their stories with you, what they do is that in uttering the words and attempting to make you feel what they saw and how they felt and what they felt. It becomes real for you to listen to them, to understand the degradation that they went through, the anguish, the thought of war, the idea of killing for the sake of killing. It is real.
Like any other ceremony, it's very much a funeral. It can be very emotional, unexpectedly, and it makes you think about everything that you have as an American, as a U.S. citizen, as a free human being in this world.
I think it's important to lay the wreath at the tomb of the unknown because these memories are a reminder of the cost of war and recognize that the cost of war is not in dollars and cents. It's in the lives of men and women. All of these soldiers expected to come home.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The ceremony that you are about to witness is an Army wreath-laying ceremony to be conducted in honor of the unknown. It is requested that everyone remain silent and standing during this ceremony. All military personnel in uniform will render the hand salute, and it is appropriate for all others to place their right hand over their heart upon the command of Present Arms. Thank you.